Before the dinosaurs ruled, another empire rose from Earth's barren rocks. Silent titans taller than 10-story buildings dominated landscapes for millions of years. These weren't animals, but plants, ancient botanical giants that transformed our planet forever. They survived asteroid impacts that killed entire animal lineages. They endured volcanic eruptions that darkened skies for decades. They adapted to climates so extreme, no modern plant could tolerate them. Some even became hunters, devouring insects in nutrient-starved soils. Tonight, we journey through 500 million years of botanical evolution. We'll witness the rise of Earth's first forests and the flowering revolution. The story of prehistoric plants isn't a footnote to dinosaur history. It's the foundation upon which all terrestrial life was built. Invasion from the sea. 500 million years ago, Earth's continents lay naked and hostile. No soil cushioned the bare rock, only sand and volcanic debris. No green softened the landscape, just endless stretches of lifeless stone. Water ruled supreme while land remained an alien frontier waiting for pioneers. But in the shallow margins where ocean met shore, revolution was brewing. Simple organisms began experimenting with an audacious idea, leaving the water behind. These weren't plants in any recognizable sense, but algae-like pioneers. They possessed no roots, no leaves, no flowers, no complex structures. Yet they carried within them the genetic toolkit for terrestrial conquest. The challenge seemed insurmountable: how to survive without water's constant embrace. Evolution provided answers through millions of years of incremental adaptation. Cells developed waxy coatings to prevent moisture loss in air. Specialized tissues emerged to transport water from wet areas to dry. Support structures appeared to hold organisms upright against gravity's pull. Each innovation opened new possibilities for colonizing the barren continents. Success bred experimentation, and experimentation bred diversity beyond imagination. By 440 million years ago, the Silurian period witnessed triumph. Cooksonia emerged as one of Earth's first true vascular plants. Standing barely 10 centimeters tall, it hardly seemed revolutionary at first. But Cooksonia possessed internal plumbing, tubes conducting water and nutrients through tissues. This breakthrough allowed plants to grow taller and venture farther inland. These humble pioneers transformed Earth's surface in ways we still feel today. Their death and decay created the first true soils from rock. Their roots broke stone into smaller particles, accelerating weathering dramatically. They pumped oxygen into the atmosphere as a waste product of photosynthesis. The planet was greening, and nothing would ever be the same. The Carboniferous Giants. 359 million years ago, Earth became an alien greenhouse paradise. The Carboniferous period created conditions perfect for botanical gigantism. Swamps stretched across continents where deserts and mountains stand today. Humidity approached 100% in steaming jungles that never dried. And in this perpetual sauna, plants evolved into living skyscrapers. Lepidodendron dominated these ancient forests with its intimidating scale and presence. The scale tree reached heights exceeding 30 meters, taller than modern oak trees. Its trunk stretched over a meter in diameter, covered in distinctive patterns. Diamond-shaped scars marked where leaves once attached to the bark. But Lepidodendron wasn't truly a tree in a modern sense at all. This giant reproduced through spores rather than seeds like contemporary ferns. It lacked true wood, relying instead on structural tissues for support. The trunk was largely hollow, filled with soft pith tissue. Yet this unconventional architecture successfully supported massive weight for millions of years. When these giants fell and were buried, they became today's coal. Calamites grew alongside Lepidodendron, creating forests of strange vertical columns. These relatives of modern horsetails reached heights of 20 meters or more. Their segmented trunks rose in ridged sections like enormous bamboo stalks. Branches emerged in regular whorls from nodes along the stem. The effect was geometric, orderly, utterly unlike the random branching of trees. The atmosphere itself underwent transformation as these forests spread across continents. Photosynthesis pumped oxygen concentrations to levels Earth had never experienced before. The air contained roughly 35% oxygen compared to today's 21%. This supercharged atmosphere had profound effects on animal life evolving there. Insects grew to monstrous proportions impossible in our modern atmosphere. Meganeura terrorized these ancient forests as a dragonfly with 70-centimeter wingspan. Arthropleura, a millipede relative, stretched over 2 meters in length. These giants thrived because high oxygen allowed larger body sizes. The same atmospheric conditions that created plant titans enabled animal giants. The Carboniferous represented Earth's experiment with supersizing all terrestrial life. But this age of giants carried the seeds of its own transformation. The burial of vast carbon stores in cold deposits gradually reduced atmospheric carbon dioxide. Climate began shifting toward drier conditions that would challenge spore-bearing plants. A new type of plant was evolving to meet this challenge. The seed revolution. 300 million years ago, the Permian period brought dramatic climate change. Swamps dried as continental drift created vast interior deserts far from oceans. The giants that depended on constant moisture struggled to adapt quickly enough. Many Carboniferous species declined or disappeared as conditions shifted. But evolution had prepared an answer: the seed. Seed plants, or gymnosperms, liberated reproduction from dependence on external water. Unlike ferns that required water for sperm to swim to eggs, seeds packaged everything needed for new growth in protective coats. This innovation allowed plants to colonize regions previously too dry. Gymnosperms spread rapidly across Permian landscapes, establishing dominance they'd maintained for millions. Glossopteris became one of the most successful plants in Earth's history. Its broad, tongue-shaped leaves captured sunlight efficiently across diverse environments. Fossils appear across southern continents that once comprised the supercontinent Gondwana. South America, Africa, Antarctica, India, and Australia all preserve Glossopteris remains. These plants dominated southern hemisphere forests for 50 million years or more. The presence of identical Glossopteris fossils on now separated continents provided crucial evidence. Early geologists noticed this distribution pattern and wondered how it occurred. The plants couldn't have crossed vast oceans, so the continents must have connected. This realization helped birth the theory of continental drift and plate tectonics. Glossopteris literally helped scientists understand Earth's dynamic surface moves over time. Seed ferns, or pteridosperms, evolved during this period with confusing anatomy. They possessed fern-like foliage, but reproduced with seeds rather than spores. For decades, paleobotanists classified them as true ferns until careful examination revealed their reproductive structures. These plants combined old and new features in successful hybrid strategies. They flourished throughout the Permian and into the Mesozoic era. The Permian ended with Earth's most devastating mass extinction event. Volcanic eruptions in Siberia pumped toxic gases and particles into atmosphere and oceans. Perhaps 96% of marine species and 70% of terrestrial vertebrates perished. But plants once again demonstrated remarkable resilience in the face of catastrophe. Seed plants survived and would inherit the post-apocalyptic world. Mesozoic forests and the flower revolution. The Mesozoic era unfolded across 186 million years. We remember it as the age of dinosaurs, but plants underwent equally dramatic evolution during this time. Gymnosperms reached their peak diversity, covering continents with conifers, cycads, and ginkgos. These forests provided food for herbivorous dinosaurs from Brachiosaurus to Triceratops. Conifers established themselves as dominant trees across northern hemisphere forests. Their needle-like leaves reduced water loss, allowing survival in varied climates. Thick bark protected against fire, disease, and herbivore damage. Seeds developed in cones that opened when conditions favored germination. These adaptations proved so successful that conifers still dominate certain ecosystems today. Ginkgo biloba stands as one of evolution's most remarkable success stories. This species has remained virtually unchanged for over 200 million years. Its distinctive fan-shaped leaves are instantly recognizable in the fossil record. Ginkgos once covered much of the northern hemisphere in vast forests. Today, they survive largely because humans cultivated them in temple gardens. The preservation of ginkgo represents an accident of cultural appreciation. Chinese and Japanese monks planted these trees for their beauty and symbolism. When wild populations dwindled to near extinction, cultivated trees survived. Now, ginkgos line city streets worldwide, living fossils from the Jurassic period. Each autumn, when leaves turn golden, we witness colors dinosaurs once saw. Then came the innovation that would reshape terrestrial ecosystems forever: flowers. Angiosperms appeared during the Cretaceous period around 130 million years ago. These flowering plants introduced revolutionary reproductive strategies that quickly proved superior. Colorful petals attracted animal pollinators far more efficiently than wind pollination. Fruits encouraged animals to disperse seeds great distances from parent plants. The partnership between flowers and pollinators drove rapid diversification on both sides. Insects evolved specialized mouth parts to access nectar, while plants evolved corresponding flower shapes. Birds developed color vision to locate flowers, while plants evolved vibrant displays. This coevolution created feedback loops, accelerating the diversification of both groups. Within 50 million years, angiosperms dominated most terrestrial habitats. Some flowering plants took adaptation to astonishing extremes by becoming carnivorous. In nutrient-poor soils where nitrogen was scarce, certain plants evolved to hunt. Pitcher plants developed tube-shaped leaves that trapped and digested insects. Sundews grew sticky tentacles that snared prey before slowly consuming them. These botanical predators turned the tables on the animal kingdom. Fossil evidence suggests carnivorous plants arose during the Cretaceous alongside dinosaurs. Ancient pitcher plant ancestors trapped insects in fluid-filled leaves. The plants secreted digestive enzymes that broke down prey into absorbable nutrients. This strategy allowed survival in habitats where conventional root uptake failed. Carnivorous plants represent one of evolution's most creative solutions to scarcity. Survival and transformation. 66 million years ago, catastrophe struck Earth with apocalyptic force. An asteroid 6 miles wide slammed into the Yucatan Peninsula. The impact released energy equivalent to billions of nuclear weapons simultaneously detonating. Debris darkened skies globally, blocking sunlight for months or years. Temperatures plummeted as photosynthesis ground to a halt across the planet. 75% of all species disappeared in the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction. Non-avian dinosaurs vanished completely after 165 million years of dominance. Marine reptiles, flying pterosaurs, and countless other groups joined them in oblivion. But plants, though devastated, proved remarkably resistant to complete extinction. Seeds buried in soil survived years of darkness, awaiting their chance. When sunlight finally returned, angiosperms seized their opportunity with aggressive colonization. Their rapid reproduction and diverse forms allowed quick recovery from devastation. Flowering plants spread across landscapes emptied of competing gymnosperms. Within a few million years, forests dominated by angiosperms covered continents. The age of flowers had truly arrived. The Paleogene period witnessed explosive angiosperm diversification into modern plant families. Tropical rainforests developed in equatorial regions with unprecedented complexity. Magnolias, laurels, and legumes established themselves as dominant tree groups. These forests supported the radiation of mammals, filling niches dinosaurs vacated. The partnership between flowering plants and mammals became Earth's new paradigm. As climate cooled through the Paleogene, grasslands emerged as major ecosystems. Grasses evolved tough, fibrous leaves resistant to grazing pressure from herbivores. They developed growth points at stem bases rather than tips. This allowed grasses to survive constant cropping by animals and regenerate rapidly. Grasslands transformed animal evolution, favoring fast-running grazers over forest browsers. The Quaternary period brought ice ages that repeatedly transformed plant distributions. Glaciers advanced and retreated across northern continents in cycles lasting thousands of years each. Plant communities shifted southward during glacial advances, then recolonized as ice retreated. This climate instability drove plant evolution in new directions toward greater adaptability. Species that couldn't adjust disappeared, while flexible survivors thrived. Then humans emerged and began transforming Earth's vegetation at unprecedented scales. Agriculture replaced diverse ecosystems with monocultures of domesticated crops. Wheat, rice, maize, and other grains became foundations of human civilization. Forests fell to axes and plows as populations expanded globally. The sixth mass extinction began, driven not by asteroids, but by human activity. 500 million years of botanical evolution created the green world we inhabit. From simple algae venturing onto barren shores to flowering plants covering continents. From towering Carboniferous giants to carnivorous hunters to grasses feeding billions. Plants have shaped Earth's atmosphere, created our soils, and fed every terrestrial ecosystem. They survived extinctions that destroyed dominant animal groups repeatedly throughout history. Understanding this ancient legacy helps us appreciate the botanical heritage surrounding us. As we face climate change and biodiversity loss, the resilience of plants offers hope. They've endured worse and recovered, though recovery measured in millions of years.